During an operation were members of the security forces this morning. Wilmot, who is said to be the leader of a retrieve gang that reigns in Cambridge, St. James, was listed as wanted following the murder of Mark Williams in June 2016. The police have linked the gang to at least 12 murders and 11 shootings, which includes confrontations with police officers in St. James. The latest murder, allegedly carried out by members of the gang, was the killing of a man in Catadupa in the parish on July 9, 2020. The police say they have carried out several operations during the state of public emergency in the parish since 2018 to apprehend Wilmot and members of the gang. However, they were unsuccessful. An M16 rifle was seized during the operation. Heavy police presence was at the Trelawney Parish Court earlier today to maintain law and order for one of the most anticipated hearings, the Tamara Geddes case. 3 of the suspects, believed to be her family members, made their first appearance before the court. Tamara Geddes was murdered on June 19, reportedly in a robbery gone wrong. But now the police say it was a murder for hire.
Residents of Reserve Trelawney looked on from a distance as the suspects of Tamara Geddes' murder exited the police vehicles and into the courthouse. The 3 accused are Nadine Geddes and her 2 daughters, 21-year-old Shanice Rudder. The other is a minor. The residents claim that their peaceful community had been rocked not once with the murder of Geddes, but twice, when the sister and the nieces of the victim were arrested and charged with her murder. They did not mince words when they spoke to our cameras.
Tamara never deserved this. She not deserve it. It's upsetting. And all if Tamara cross them today, by tomorrow, Tamara they talk to Rosie and make up her back with Rosie. She not deserve this.
Not one of them if you come back around. All of them pick up prison for life. They're wicked. A long time them are planning and none of them know decide say nobody with them. All of them wicked from day one until now. They're wicked.
They don't have to see back road now. They have to suffer. They're wicked. Wicked people are moved. You can't do one family like that. No one sister. Or if you kill of blood, family, sister, for what? The things?
2 other persons were also arrested for the murder. One has been charged, a woman who the police claim was paid $150,000 for the gunman to carry out the attack. Tamara Geddes was murdered on June 19, reportedly in front of her 10-year-old daughter. Tamara shared a house with her sister Nadine Geddes, who told us at the time she did not hear the attack. Tamara was shot and killed. Lawyer representing the minor Marissa Dalrymple Philibert described the incident as very unfortunate.
My consideration is that she is 14 years old, so she's a minor, and her interest is of paramount importance. And as a 14-year-old, you know, she is the future of the country. She's a young child, and we have to be careful and sensitive in this matter.
Jamila Maitland for CBN Live.
Have not revealed a lot about the early morning operation that led to Prekkie Boy's demise Wednesday. But TVJ News understands it was a well-planned mission that finally led them to the man who for many years had the hilly terrain of Cambridge as an advantage to escape from the security forces. Prekkie Boy, who was 25 years old, has been wanted for nearly 5 years. During this time, images of him posing with firearms would often emerge on social media. An M16 rifle containing several rounds of ammunition was seized during the security operation Wednesday morning. Police say Prekkie Boy was wanted in connection with various crimes, including multiple murders. The retrieve gang that he led has been linked to at least 12 murders and 11 shootings. According to the police, the latest murder allegedly carried out by members of the gang was the killing of Alistair Godfrey in Catadupa, St. James on July 9, 2020. Prekkie Boy was being pointed as the triggerman behind the injuring of 2 Jamaica Defence Force soldiers in 2017. Police say he also fired shots at their members in St. James several times. The security forces believed Prekkie Boy met his demise in 2018 during a shootout with lawmen, but it turned out it was one of the henchmen who was identified as Richard Anderson. Anderson was also wanted in the Kingston East Division. A Panther Arms A-15 rifle was seized during that incident. But the police believe Prekeboy was shot and injured during that operation. Several other operations were carried out by lawmen during the state of
the Windward Islands on Saturday after gaining hurricane strength. Forecasters say the storm's structure has become a little disheveled and there's still uncertainty in Gonzalo's intensity forecast. They say out of an abundance of caution, the official forecast continues to show Gonzalo becoming a hurricane in about 24 hours. Rainfall is expected over Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, and the Windward Islands, which includes St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Dominica from tomorrow to Sunday. At 11 o'clock this morning, the center of Tropical Storm Gonzalo was moving toward the west near 13 miles per hour. Maximum sustained winds are near 62 miles per hour. Now, charge and prosecute members of the security forces, but a joint select committee of Parliament in 2015 said Indicom should be given those powers. This was the Justice Minister Delroy Chuck in Parliament on Tuesday.
Mr. Speaker, in light of the Privy Council's ruling and the recent increase in the numbers of prosecutors in the DPP's office, the present administration reconsidered the Joint Select Committee's recommendation to vest Indicom with prosecutorial powers and thought it no longer necessary for such prosecutorial powers to be given to Indicom.
Outgoing Commissioner of Indicom Terence Williams says the government's decision not to give the Commission prosecutorial powers is a bad move.
I'm very disappointed. I think it's going to set back police accountability many, many years. The police in Jamaica are being now put in a position where they're going to be somewhat exceptional and above the law. In that, if the police bring in a case against you or I, they need no DPP permission to bring it, they can bring it. But to bring a case against a policeman, it's now the administration is saying the DPP must permit it, and indeed a combination of the DPP and the police must put it before the court.
So Mr. Williams has this question.
Why can't Indicom enjoy the same powers as the police have to put matters before the court?
The minister's statement in Parliament did not mention whether Indicom would be given the powers to arrest and charge members of the security forces. Mr. Chuck spoke specifically about prosecutorial powers, but Mr. Williams says based on his information, the plan is that the powers to arrest and charge will be between the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions and the police.
What I'm particularly distressed about this is the process to reach the decision was that there was a joint select committee now almost 7 years ago. And the Joint Select Committee heard all of the submissions by Police Federation, everybody, and they said no. Indicom must be able to arrest, charge, and prosecute. And then what happens? Over the years now, the police, behind the scenes, lobby the government to say no, Indicom mustn't have that power. And the government folds to the police lobbying.
In the meantime, Mr. Williams believes the government's decision is not good for the work of Indicom.
It weakens Indicom as an institution. It weakens police accountability. It is a retrograde step by the administration. I only have a few days left, but for the few days that I have left, I will criticize it, and I will continue to say it's a very poor step.
I think it's a very bad practice. I think it's a selfish habit. And I think persons need to become more conscious about how they dispose their waste and their garbage.
I think it's terrible, right? And I think that we need to educate the children, because in a lot of the schools, if you go there after lunch break, there's garbage all around the school, and they should be told to pick it up. You know, if they don't do it in schools or at their homes, then they won't come out or grow up to know what to do.
Minister without portfolio in the Minister of National Security, Matthew Samuda, confirmed that there was a major reduction in styrofoam and plastic bottles on the beach. He says despite the positive sign, there is need for a joint approach from all stakeholders to address the issue of garbage disposal.
There are several programs geared at dealing with it. I know NEPA has a plastic initiative, a plastic reduction initiative in the area. NSWMA has a project for separation. most of these projects are in their infancy and in their pilot stage. There's a pilot project going on for the deposit refund scheme with Jamaica Recycling Group. So there's several initiatives coming together. What we need now is to upscale our ambition and to really get everybody to work together to tie the varying programs into one. There's work to be done in terms of how people behave, and then there's work to be done certainly at the government level and whatever in terms of increasing capacity. We have noted several new garbage trucks added to the fleet recently with NSWMA, which is a step in the right direction and a big move for the Ministry of Local Government and a big move from the Ministry of Finance.
Who are trained and sits in the court of appeal, in the court and the court of appeal to uphold the Constitution, says what you have on the man. The officer presents himself, and the judge says not sufficient, give him bail without conditions. And the officer says, hold on, the judge think she know too much, him know too much, take him up in the state of emergency. And the minister says, I'm satisfied. And then the toothless tribunal says, well, the minister is satisfied. We are not here to use reasonable doubt. As long as the minister drinks his tea and waves his pen, we sign and we're okay and we're different from the court. The court do their thing. And you disrespect a judge, and that's a breach of the doctrinal separations of power.
What we're saying is that the tribunals are told by the regulation to deem all persons in custody as being lawful custody. And that's what the regulations say. So they start with the assumption that the persons are in custody lawfully. That's the first thing. Secondly, the tribunal will also tell you that they're not there to replace the court. They're not trying the matters to decide whether or not Mr. Matty say kill somebody or not. What they're there to do is just to look at, is there simply enough persons who you don't know, unknown sources even to the tribunal, who make allegations about you. So
both Mr. Clark and Mr. Buchanan were speaking on TVJ's All Angles last night, following an order by the Supreme Court that 5 men detained under several of the existing states of public emergency should be freed. The 5 men had been detained in states of emergency in Westmoreland, St. Andrews South, and East Kingston. The men had asked the court to have their detentions declared unlawful and unconstitutional.